Good morning, student. I welcome you all to my class, and we are going to do the important questions from Nelson Mandela Walk to Freedom. So let's revise before discussing the important question answer today. Let's talk about the author, about the theme, about the important points of the lesson, and then we will be doing the questions from the sample paper. So children, this lesson itself is written by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Okay, and we all know he was a great hero who gave freedom to the blacks in South Africa. He was born in 18 July 1918. Okay, and in the village of Mavezezo in Umtata, then a part of South Africa, Cape Province. He fought against the apartheid regime of South Africa. This is the most important point of his life, that he fought against the apartheid regime of South Africa. And regime of South Africa, which believed in racialism. He spent more than 30 years in South Africa prison. So children, he had done a great sacrifice, which he became the first black president of South Africa when his parts came to power in democratic election in 1994. He had won in a he got a very children nice victory. I think 252 vote out of 244. It is a saga of the glorious struggle that the black of South Africa waged against the apartheid regime to gain freedom. Now children, what is the theme of this story? This lesson is basically written from children to pay the tribute to those black heroes. This lesson is taken from children his autobiography which Nelson Mandela has written, Long Walks to Freedom, and he has shared when he became the first black president of South Africa. Through his speech, he gave tribute to those black heroes and patriots who waged a relentless struggle against the apartheid or the racist regime of South Africa. Here we find a description of the inauguration ceremony held in the Union Building, attended by politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries. Nelson Mandela gave a message of peace and unity of mankind. He forces a new regime which will be based on the equality of men and women. He hopes that in the new regime there will be no exploitation of men by men. There will be no room for racism and segregation in the new order. First, non-racial government. Now let me discuss the very important point from the lesson. That is, first, a non-racial government. It was 10th of May 1994. The day was bright and clear. Student. So children, non-racial, first, it was the first non-racial government. It was it was 10th of May 1994. The day was bright and clear. The inauguration ceremony of the first non-racial government was held at the lovely amphitheater. Children, it is a very famous place in South Africa, and it is situated in the Union Building in Pretoria. It was the largest gathering of international leaders on South African soil. Politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries. So children, politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries attended the ceremony. Okay. So first of all, Mr. De Klerk, he was sworn in as second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki. So children, De Klerk, he was sworn as the second deputy president. Then children, the first deputy president, Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki. He became the second deputy president. He became the second first deputy president. Then came Mandela's turn, and finally, children, the president turn came. Okay, the he was sworn in as the first black president of South Africa. Mandela speech. Mandela spoke how for decades South Africa was the seat of white supremacy. Now the presence of all the people confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. The blacks who were considered as outlaws but not so long ago were hosting the nation of the world on their soil. The victory over apartheid was a common victory for justice, peace, and human dignity. Political freedom had been won. Now they would work hard to liberate all their people from the bondage of poverty, deprivation, and disease. Never would South Africa again face the oppression of one by another. Impressive display object. Then there was a spectacular display object. South African jets and helicopters rode in perfect formation over them in the sky. It was also a demonstration of the military loyalty to democracy and to the new government. Then the two national anthems were also played. Sense of history. After that, children, Mandela was overwhelmed with a sense of history. A few years after the Anglo-Boer War, apartheid was introduced in South Africa. The society based on racial discrimination was the harshest and most inhuman society in the world. Now, a new system based on the equality of all men, regardless of their color and race, has replaced the old and the cruel system of apartheid. Now, children, policy of apartheid was very cruel. Apartheid created a deep and lasting wounds in the people. The decades of exploitation and oppression of the blacks produced heroes like Tambo's, Sislas, and others. These blacks heroes were men of extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity. The greatest wealth of South Africa was not in the minerals and diamonds, but in the men of such great character. Struggle of comrades. Nelson Mandela learned the meaning of courage from such brave comrades. Courage is the victory over fear. These comrades were ready to risk and sacrifice their lives for an idea. The idea of freedom and equality. Even in the darkest prison, their hopes and faith were not broken. They never allowed the flame of struggle to be extinguished. Twin responsibility. According to Nelson Mandela, every man has twin responsibility or obligation. He has a duty toward his wife and children, parents, or sister or brother, and the second obligation towards his people and country. In South Africa, it was impossible for blacks like him to fulfill both those obligations. If any black tried to live like a free human being, he was punished and isolated. He was forced to live an isolated life away from his family. He was forced to live a life of rebellion and secrecy. Joining the African National Congress, Mandela realized that only he was deprived of freedom, but his brothers and sisters were also deprived of freedom. That was why he joined the African National Congress. It was his desire for the freedom of his people and their self-respect that totally transformed him from weak young man to a bold man. Bold one. A law-abiding lawyer was forced to become an outlaw. He realized that freedom is indivisible. He knew the oppressed must be liberated. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Both of them must be liberated. So, his desire for the freedom and dignity of his people made him rebel. He realized his freedom is indivisible. So now, children, first of all, I have discussed all the important point of the lesson, and now I am going to discuss with you first your textual questions. okay, from your NCERT books, and then I will be discussing some important question from the sample paper. So our first question is from page 18 and 19. Okay, where did the ceremonies take place? Can you name any public building in India that are made of sandstone? So the inaugural took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre formed by the Union Building in Pretoria. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy. In India, we have many buildings which are made of the sandstone. They are the Parliament, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and the Red Fort in Delhi. Can you say how May 10 is an autumn day in South Africa? So in South Africa, 10th of May is considered as an autumn day, literally as well as symbolically. In autumn, trees leaves old and rotten leaves, and after that, new leaves with fresh colors are born. Symbolically, the old and rotten system of apartheid was coming to an end. A new republic based on equality of all the people, colors, and races was taking birth on the 10th of May during the autumn. At the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentioned an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is the glorious human achievement he spoke of at the end? At the beginning of his speech, Mandela calls the apartheid regime based on racial discrimination as an extraordinary human disaster. The people were deprived of justice, peace, and human dignity. Now, the new republic ensures social justice, equality, and human dignity. Never will South Africa see any exploitation of men by men and racial discrimination. Okay, so this is all, children. Now, the next question is, so now, what does Mandela thanks the international leaders for? Nelson Mandela thanks the international leaders for sharing a common cause. By participating in the ceremony, they have supported the new republic where there will be no discrimination based on race and color. He thanks the international leaders for sharing a common victory for justice, for peace, and for human dignity. What ideas does he set out for the future of South Africa? Nelson Mandela set out many ideals for the future of South Africa. First of all, the hated regime of apartheid based on racial discrimination which will come to an end forever. The black or any people will not suffer exploitation and oppression by the white people. The new republic will be based on justice, peace, and human dignity. There will be equal opportunity for all, irrespective of their race, color, or sex. Now, children, we are going to do question answers of page 21. Comprehension check. What do the military generals do? How was their aptitude changed and why? Nelson Mandela remembers how the general of the South African Army and the high police officer were employed to arrest him and the other leaders of the blacks only some time ago. Now the same officer, bedecked with ribbons and medals, were saluting him and showing their loyalty towards him. The end of the apartheid regime has brought all these changes in them. Why were two national anthems sang? The Republic of South Africa consists of two major constituents, the blacks and the whites. And I told you that it was children Nelson Mandela. He told that there will be equality for all the people, whether white or the blacks. It was thought necessary to show respect to the sentiments of both these communities. Playing their two national anthems symbolized their unity. The whites sang Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika and the blacks sang Die Stem, the old anthem. Question number 3. How does Mandela describe the system of government in his country? First, in the first decade, second, in the final decade of the 20th century. After the Boer War, the hated apartheid regime was introduced in South Africa. It was based on racial discrimination and segregation. It caused untold suffering and the most inhuman behavior with the blacks in South Africa. However, things completely changed with the end of the apartheid regime and inauguration of the Republic government led by Nelson Mandela. In the new setup, all enjoyed justice, peace, equality, and human dignity, irrespective of their race and color. What does courage mean to Mandela? Courage has a wider and deeper significance for Nelson Mandela. It is not merely limited to physical acts of bravery and boldness. By courage, Mandela means the victory over fear. It is our mental strength that helps us in becoming really brave. A brave man is not he who is never afraid, but he who conquers fear. What does he think is natural to love or to hate? Mandela thinks that no one is born hating another person because of his race, color, skin, or religion. People must learn to hate, and if they learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Mandela thinks that love comes more naturally to the human heart than hate. Now, children, we will do the comprehension of page 24. What twin obligation does Mandela mention? So, obligation means moral duty. Mandela believes that every man has twin obligation in their life. His first obligation or duty is toward his family, toward his parent, toward his wife, toward his children. Okay, so to his parents, his wife, his children. Then every man has a second obligation too. It is his or her duty to his people, his community, and his country. In a civil society, each man has to fulfill this obligation according to his or her circumstances. Now, question number 2. What did being free means to Mandela as a boy and as a student? How does he contrast this transitory freedom with the basic and honorable freedom? So, student, this is the question number 3. Later on, Mandela realized that his boyhood freedom was an illusion and it was a transitory freedom. As a student, he wanted freedom only for himself. They were the transitory freedom according to Nelson Mandela. When he realized this, when he grew up, and like being able to stay out at night, read whatever he pleased to read, and go anywhere he chose. Later on, Mandela realized that the basic and honorable freedom were related to the freedom of his people to live their lives with dignity and self-respect. Does Mandela think the oppressor is free? Why or why not? So, no, Mandela thinks that both the oppressor and the oppressed are not free. Both of them are deprived of basic human virtue. The oppressor, through his cruelty, robs the oppressed of their basic human feelings of love, equality, peace, and human dignity. The oppressor as well as the oppressed are devoid of human values as they have been robbed of their humanity alike. Now, children, question answer of page 24. Why did such a large number of international leaders attend the inauguration? What did it signify the triumph of? Really, a large number of international leaders attended the inauguration ceremony of the new republic. The inhuman regime of apartheid was universally hated and condemned. After a long struggle, the blacks won a glorious victory under Nelson Mandela. The end of racial discrimination and segregation was a common victory for justice, for peace, and for human dignity. Therefore, the presence of so many international leaders confirmed glory and hope to the newborn liberty. What does Mandela mean when he says he is simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him? Nelson Mandela doesn't forget the selfless struggles and sacrifices of the blacks hero against the hated regime of apartheid in South Africa. He gratefully acknowledges the suffering and courage of thousands of his people before him. Their sacrifices can never be counted or repaid. Mandela feels that he is simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him. He only carried forward the work and struggle for freedom to its logical end. Would you agree that the depth of oppression create heights of character? How does Mandela illustrate this? Can you add your own example to this argument? To every action, there is always an opposite and equal reaction. The depth of operation always creates heights of character, operation, and brutality and the of the apartheid regime could not extinguish the flame of freedom in the blacks. Operation and atrocity produced leaders and fights like Tambos, Sicilians, Dadus, Fishers, and Softbookers before Mandela. India's struggle for freedom also produced heroes like patriots like Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose, and there are many other great leaders. How did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with age and experience? Mandela's understanding of freedom constantly changed with the age and experience. As a child, freedom meant to run in the fields, to swim in the stream, the rose meadows under the stars, etc. As a student, he wanted freedom only for himself. It meant the transitory freedom of going and moving out freely. When he grew up, his own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of his people. How did Mandela hunger for freedom change his life? Mandela's hunger for freedom changed his life. The desire for the freedom of his people to live their lives with dignity and self-respect animated his life. It transformed him from a frightened young man into a bold one. It drove a law-abiding lover to become a criminal. It made him a rebel, a homeless monk, and a crusader for freedom. Now, children, thinking about the language in page number 24. There are nouns in the text, formation government, which are formed from the corresponding verbs. So this I think you can do by yourself. Question number 1 and 2 you have to do by yourself. Okay. Then children, some of the difficult expression I think we should discuss, like I was not unmindful of the fact. Okay. So here we can say had not forgotten, was aware of the fact. When my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, felt that we could not endure the suffering any longer. No, reassure me and keep me going, help me continue to live in hope in this very difficult situation. The basic and honorable freedom of earning my keep, earning enough money to live on. Okay, so children, this is all the textual question, and now we will be doing some additional question. All right, so some important question is there, and children, we should do those question. All right, so this I think, why was 10th of May 1994 a red letter day in the history of South Africa? We all know it is a red letter day in the history of South Africa. It was a day when the hated regime of apartheid came to an end. A new democratically elected non-racial government under Nelson Mandela was to be sworn in. Many international leaders and dignitaries came to attend and pay their respect to the new government. Then where did the ceremony take place? I think this we have discussed many times, what had been for decades. So ceremonies of the inauguration of the new government took place at the lovely sandstone amphitheatre in the Union Building in Pretoria. The same place had remained the seat of white supremacy for decades. How was that site a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations? The end of the apartheid. So children, now I will be discussing the end of the apartheid regime. Was a common victory for peace, justice and human dignity. Leaders and dignitaries of all nations, irrespective of their colors, race and religion, had gathered there to celebrate that victory. So the site presented a rainbow gathering of different colors and nation. Who were the persons sworn in on 10th of May? What did Mandela pledge to obey? Mr. De Klerk was sworn first as the second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as the first deputy president, and then came the children. The turn of Mr. Nelson Mandela was sworn in as the President of the Republic of South Africa. He pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution and devote himself the well-being of the Republic and its people. What was born out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster? Why should humanity be proud of? So the apartheid regime was an extraordinary human disaster for the blacks of South Africa. The end of the apartheid laid down the foundation of a non-racial government, democratic regime of South Africa. This government based on human equality and dignity would be an ideal one of which all humanity would be proud, who were given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on their own soil. Those who were outlaws not so long ago were given the rare privilege. They had the privilege of hosting and welcoming nation of the world on their soil. The blacks were no more outlaws now but enjoyed equality and human dignity. After achieving political emancipation, what does Mandela want to do in South Africa? So children, South Africa and the blacks have achieved their political emancipation. Mandela pledged to liberate all his people from the bondage of poverty, bonds, suffering, gender and other discrimination. South Africa will never ever experience the oppression of one by another. He wishes the reign of freedom will never die in South Africa. Why does a display of jet and military salute symbolize? There was a spectacular show of South African jets and troops carriers over the Union building. The highest general of the military and political saluted the President Mandela. It was clear demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a free and fairly elected government. Why did the same general saluted Mandela who would have arrested him not so many years ago? In the apartheid regime, Nelson Mandela was a rebel and was in prison for many years. After the end of the apartheid, he was the head of the non-racial democratically elected government of South Africa. The same general who would have put him in prison not so long ago were obliged to salute the president of the new Republic of South Africa. What did the playing of two national anthems symbolizes? On the historic day of the inauguration ceremony of the Republic of South Africa, two national anthems were played. The white song Nkosi Sikel I Africa and the black sang Die Stem. Neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised. They would soon know the word by heart. Okay, so children, there are so many questions in the sample paper are there. Okay, but now I would like to discuss some of the long question. Like the apartheid regime the whites created in South Africa was one of the harshest and most inhuman societies of the world was ever known, elucidate. So children, this question. The apartheid regime symbolized oppression, exploitation and an extraordinary human disaster. The white regime was based on racial discrimination. The blacks in South Africa were deprived of their rights, equality and human dignity. After the Boer War, the white groups in South Africa patched up their differences. They imposed a system of racial discrimination against the black people of their own land. It was one of the harshest and most inhuman regime of the world has ever known. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wounds in South Africa and its people. Thousands of black patriots sacrificed their life fighting for the rights and freedom of their people. Thousands of Tambos, Sislers, Dados, Fishers, Sobuques suffered deep oppression and torture but never gave up their struggle. Untimely, their struggle and sacrifices led the blacks to victory under Nelson Mandela. Their victory was a common victory of humanity, for peace, for justice, and for human dignity. Which teen obligation does Nelson Mandela mention in the lesson? I think this we have done. Now, more difficult question only I will discuss. How was Mandela concept of freedom was different in boyhood and youth than what it was in his mature age? How were transitory freedom changed into his hunger for the freedom of his people? Once again, student, I repeat the question. How was Mandela concept of freedom was different in boyhood and youth than what it was in his mature age? How were transitory freedom changed into his hunger for the freedom of his people? Nelson Mandela was not born with a hunger to be free. In his boyhood, he felt free till he obeyed his father and tribe. The concept of freedom was limited only to run in fields, swim in the local stream, and ride on the slow moving bulls. When he was a youth, he realized that his boyhood freedom was an illusion. His freedom had already been taken away from him. He aimed to enjoy transitory freedom like staying out at night, reading and going anywhere as he pleased. When he joined the African National Congress, only then his own freedom became the greater hunger for his people. He desired that his people should live their lives with dignity and self-respect. This hunger for freedom forced him to be a rebel and live in secrecy away from his family. Why does Mandela say that freedom is indivisible? How are the oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity? Well, important question. Okay. Nelson Mandela believes that freedom is indivisible. His hunger for his own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of his people. He could not live his life with dignity and self-respect. If his own people were bound in chain, the chains on any one of his people were the chains on all of them. The chain of all the people were the chains on him. Mandela realized that the oppressor must be liberated as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another freedom is a prisoner of hatred, prejudice, and narrow-mindedness. He is not truly free if he is taking away someone else's freedom. Surely he is not free when his freedom is taken away from him. Thus, the oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. So, children, now what I feel that these are some of the important questions. Then, children, character sketch of Nelson Mandela is very important. Okay, and this type of question can come. Describe the contribution of Nelson Mandela in the struggle for independence of the black of his country against the hated apartheid regime. So indirectly or directly, you have to discuss the character sketch of Nelson Mandela here. Okay, so with this, I end my video and I end my lesson here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.